No, that's not what Ajahn Chah said. If someone calls you a dog, you should look at your bottom to see if you've got a tail. If you ain't got a tail, you're not a dog, and a problem. And most of the things which people say about you aren't true, because they don't know who you are or what you're doing. So that's a great way of stopping the problem. But what a lot of people do, they keep thinking about it. Every time you think about it, you allow them to call you a dog another time. Now that's easy to understand. But what about someone who's really hurt you, really abused you? Even like sexual abuse as a kid. Is it the case that every time you remember that, you allow them to abuse you again? Every time you really bring that up? Why is it we can't let it go straight away? It's hard, but with an inner strength, a strength which is not coming from willpower, but from wisdom power, from compassion. Why do we allow ourselves to be victims, to be made victims? And I'm not just saying that out of theory. Many, many years ago, there was a disciple, this was in the time of the Armadale group, part of the Armadale group, who came up to me. Actually, one of her friends said, you better talk to her because she's in big trouble. And what the trouble was she found out her husband was sexually abusing her 2 children. She had missed it, and I told her why she missed it, because look, you love that man. And when you love a man, the signs are there, but you are in denial because the whole idea that the man you love is abusing the children you love, it's so hard to reconcile that. It's so hard for the mind to fit those two together. So she just denied the signs of sexual abuse of her children by her husband. It was found out by the school. Investigated, it was true. The guy went to jail. The marriage was over. And I was counselling her on these Buddhist principles. She'd been meditating enough. She understood the basic idea of karma, letting go, and not being a victim. And she took it on board. And she said she can never live with that man or love him again. But she's not going to allow him to make her suffer anymore. She completely let go, wished him well, and eventually moved to the UK. And I kept in contact with her and her kids. But before she left, it was compulsory at that time, probably still is, for her to go for counselling. And the kids too. I was sort of quite amused that after going to counselling for about 4 or 5 weeks, she came to complain again. So this counsellor will not understand, I've moved on. And the counsellor was still saying, you hate your husband, don't you? He said, no, I don't hate your husband, I've let him go. You hate him, don't you? No, I don't. And she came because she could not be free of her counsellor until she admitted how much she hated and wanted to kill her husband.